Welcome everybody. Joining y'all today is the one and only Mike EQ, Mike Bell, Mike the names with the, I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I'm a little gone. Anyway, I got King V in the building. I do know that person. I know King V.
I think you should, but you know. Hey,
What's going on, V?
Oh, the year's almost over. Thank you, Jesus.
You could say that again. And with the end of the year, we have our greatest wrestlers, our top 10, right, of 2018. This is going to be a list of who we felt were the best. You might not agree with it, you know what I mean? This is all subject to opinion. But
so don't want to talk about no bullshit.
Right. I mean, listen, you guys have y'all list. We have our list. It is what it is. Overall, do you think this was a good year for wrestling?
Yes and no.
Elaborate.
Okay, yes, because let me not say the product because I'd be lying. The actual performances were a lot better. It was a lot more fluidity to me.
Okay.
But no, because same old shit.
Yeah.
You know, Monday Night Raw. Pretty much. Yeah.
Well, just briefly, I know this isn't like a review, but just briefly, do you believe the McMahons?
No.
I should say. Okay. All right. Just get that out the way. You don't believe them either.
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
Hashtag fire Kevin Dunn.
Hashtag fire Kevin Dunn. Yes, I'm fully behind that. But we can get more into that probably in 2019 because they probably won't change. But I will say that wrestling wise, I agree with you. I believe each year the wrestling, the actual in-ring wrestling gets better and better. I mean, the athletes, the men and women are amazing. They really are. I mean, I'm going back because Raw is so horrible. And we'll get into all this in a second. But I'm going back to like the Attitude Era videos now. Like I'm on Raw from 1998, right after like King of the Ring. When Stone Cold was champion and everything. Yeah, and Mankind flew off the cage. Off the cell. Oh man, yeah, me too, man. We're getting up there. So I'm going back 20 years now just to find some good Raws. But nevertheless, I believe that the talent, it's not the talent's fault. I believe the talent.
No, it's not talent.
No, it's not. It's not. And just to say this, all you people that think Nia Jax should be fired and all of that, no, she shouldn't be fired. I do think there's room for improvement. Okay.
It's a lot of room for improvement. You know,
it is. But
you know who's not on my list?
She's not on my list either. But anyway, you know a guy that is on my list coming in at number 10.
Oh, so we start now?
Yeah, we're starting now.
With the men and the women.
So mine is like mixed up. So it's like, all right, for example, right? If I feel like a certain woman was better than a man that like in like for that number, I have them ahead of them. So it's not like all right, here's 5 women, here's 5 men. It's all in one list for me.
Okay, so mine is going to be separate only because that I want to give everybody every woman their shine on their list and every guy on their shine on their list.
Okay, yeah, that's perfectly fine. I mean, actually, I could do it that way also. Yeah, we could do it that way. So, just so the people understand, we chose 5 women and we chose 5 guys. The top 5, the top 5 in each. So I guess if I'm starting with the guys, I'm gonna
Yep.
go to my number 5, I guess you could say, and that's the NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa. Um, the reason I debated having an NXT person here.
Oh, I do. I have quite a few XT people on mine. So.
Oh, okay. You know what's funny? Before me and V actually started with this live video, I was thinking, I'm like, should we include NXT? Should I? And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna let him. Yeah, I'm just gonna let him pick what he wants to pick because I'm including an NXT person also. So, he's the only NXT person on my list, but it's not because I don't like the other talent. I just feel like Tommaso Ciampa is one of the people that really, really took an opportunity and ran with it. So that's why Tommaso Ciampa for me is in top 5 of best male wrestlers of 2018 for me. He won an NXT championship. He had some phenomenal matches with Johnny Gargano. He had a great match with Aleister Black. He's having memorable feuds down there in NXT, and he's one of the best talkers on the mic. Tommaso Ciampa is the full package.
It's true. I agree. Now, speaking of phenomenal, number 5 on my list is actually the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Okay.
Why I have him so low on my list is because I think there were a lot more people that impressed me this year than AJ Styles, but he was the WWE champion for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty much the reason why I had him up there. Like, he's always impressive. I can't really say that he had a bad match or anything. It's just he's great. Yeah. But he's just not number 1.
Okay, and that's fine. AJ's on my list also, a little bit higher, but he's actually on my list also. But we'll get into that. I guess we can just do like the guys and then we'll do the girls. So
yeah.
for yeah, yeah. So we'll so my number 4 is a guy by the name of The Miz. Anything that Miz is given, okay, he for the most part is able to make it entertaining. Is he? Yeah, like is he the greatest wrestler? No, he's never gonna be the greatest wrestler. But in terms of entertaining me, making me feel like, all right, something important is happening on my screen. The Miz is on my screen. I have to give that to him. I feel like he's been the most consistent. Okay. He's been, honestly, he said it himself. He doesn't, it's not like he missed any like substantial amount of time away from the ring. He's there every show, and I actually met the guy in person. He's not like a jerk. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm gonna go with The Miz. I feel like he's, again, the reason I have him above Tommaso Ciampa, even though Tommaso won the NXT championship, I feel like The Miz, for one, is on the main roster, okay, which gives him more exposure than Tommaso Ciampa, and I feel like just Miz has been consistently at the top of his game for the last 10, 11 years, something like that, so yeah, The Miz for number 4 for me.
Well, unfortunately, The Miz is not on my list, but he's a very honorable mention. Number 4 on my list, it is the new and the old Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
Yeah, what a comeback.
Yes.
What a comeback. Comeback.
Man.
What a comeback, man. I don't know what else. I don't know what else to say. What a comeback.
You know what, V? It's very interesting that you got Daniel Bryan on your list.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, I went back and forth. I didn't put Daniel Bryan on my list, and I am a huge Daniel Bryan fan. Huge.
I know. That's why I'm kind of like, whoa.
So the reason I didn't, right? Again, consistency, right? Bryan came back in April at WrestleMania, right? And since April, I'm gonna be honest, he hasn't really been setting the world on fire. He's had pretty lackluster matches, and again, maybe he's just being safe. But, I mean, for the most part, The Miz and Bryan had a match at SummerSlam that's already forgotten. Okay. and then they had a like a 1 minute match at Super Showdown, which I actually enjoyed. I really did enjoy that small package out of nowhere, because anybody that knows Bryan's history knows he used to be called Mr. Small Package.
Which is kind of yikes, but
oh man, but
each his own.
Well, I'm glad he went into his old bag of tricks, okay, and pulled out a small package. So, and he's been using it. Oh man. And he's been using that small package very effectively, I must say. But anyway. Oh man. YouTube is gonna flag us. Anyway, but yes, I love that pick of Daniel Bryan. If he was doing this new Daniel Bryan thing for, like, let's say the last 6 months or so, I would definitely have him probably number 2 on my list. But because he just turned, like what, a month ago, I have to give it some time. And before then, Bryan wasn't really doing much for me, and that's not a slight on Bryan, but yeah. But Bryan is definitely a great pick. I love that pick. So, for me, coming in at number 3 is a guy that you mentioned earlier, simply phenomenal, the one and only AJ Styles. AJ Styles, like you said, you touched most of the points on that, but AJ Styles, again, the key word, I'm going to call this consistency, right? AJ Styles is a guy that you can get a good 3.5 to 4-star match whenever, you know what I'm saying? Whenever. Now, has he, again, with the Bryan thing, has he been lighting the world on fire with the matches? No. He had a very, he had a very unsatisfying feud with Nakamura, and...
Don't remind me of that. Oh, I'm so upset.
Yeah, Nakamura's another guy that's... I'll get in. We should probably do a list of, like, just underused talent one of these days also, but...
I know who's going to be on my list with that.
I got a few people on the list for that one, but needless to say, AJ still belongs on the list. So he's my number 3 pick.
My number 3 pick is someone that you already mentioned.
Okay.
The last 3 people are all NXT people, because NXT is so much better than what we're getting on Raw. But anyway, my number 3 pick is the NXT champion, Tommaso Ciampa.
Okay.
And you really hit the point, so I can't really say much.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. I miss Matt Hardy, man. Yeah. Yes. All right. So, okay. All right. My number 2 pick is the monster among men. It's Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman is a guy that I feel like they could put the rocket on, and they just keep getting cold feet every time they give him an opportunity. I feel like he...
Which sucks, because he has the power, he has the ability.
Exactly. He's a beast. Like, he's really a freak of nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the agility that he possesses, at his size, it's pretty incredible. Okay. The feats of strength, again, amazing. Like, I don't really have anything negative to say about Braun Strowman. I feel like, I mean, of course there's always room for improvement. I feel like he's still a young talent. I feel like sometimes his inexperience does show.
It does.
But I feel like he could be a guy that is capable of holding the world championship and making it mean something again, because it doesn't mean the Universal Championship means absolutely nothing. So
because the champion's not there.
Sure. Who's the champion? Right, we have a champion? Yeah, okay.
Barely.
Yeah. But like I said, Braun Strowman is my number 2 pick.
My number 2 pick is Ricochet.
Ooh, nice.
I mean, if you've seen what he can do in the ring, like that one particular moment on NXT with actually the person who's number 1 on my list,
I think I know. Yeah. All right.
that was a cool moment. I don't want to spoil it, but
Yeah.
Mike already knows who it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, Ricochet's number 2.
Shout out to Ricochet.
Shout out to my number 1 pick.
Yeah, definitely. That person definitely deserves it. But I'll let
Yeah.
you. I'll let you say who that is after I say who my number 1 pick is, and that's Seth Rollins. Wrestling ability, mic skills, consistency, durability. He checks literally all of the boxes. Now, is he given the material sometimes that he should be given? No, but that's not his fault. You know, they're not allowed to really go out and say what they want to say. Example, Roman. You know, imagine Roman just coming out there saying that's why he's not on the list either, because even before, I know he's dealing with, you know, his personal health issues, but even before then, I wasn't, again, he won the Universal Championship, but I'm not even trying to make this like a Roman hate video. Like, if he was actually, you know, because I'm not a huge Braun Strowman fan, but I had to put him on my list. It's not about just who I'm just a fan of. It's like trying to be fair. So if we're being fair, Roman, I don't think he was really worthy of it, like of the list, like of these other guys. You know, maybe a number 6 or number 7, but top 5, maybe not. You know, but that's
Roman
my personal thing.
Roman definitely gets an honorable mention.
Yeah.
I really hope he does get well soon. You know, y'all know if you've watched these predictions and whatnot that Mike's done, you know, I don't see it for Roman Reigns. However, he puts in work.
Yeah, he does.
And for him to have to drop the title because of, you know, what's happening with him right now is really upsetting. So,
yeah,
you know, all the best to Roman Reigns.
Yeah, get well soon, big dog. But yeah, so Seth Rollins is my number 1 pick. I can't say he's had a bad match, even when the fans have turned on him during the match.
Oof,
it wasn't a bad match. Some of the fans are just what does Brian say? Fickle. So they are very fickle. Now, to be fair, maybe the match that he had with Dean went on a little too long, and it was a little too slow. Okay,
a lot too slow.
Yeah, but it wasn't a bad match. I think also where it was placed was bad. After AJ and Bryan had this great, you know, WWE Championship match, it was too long. It was too long. It felt like forever. So yeah. Anyway, Seth Rollins is my number 1 pick, even after all of that.
My number 1 pick is someone who I stand for. It is the Velveteen Dream. Of course. Did you know I'm rooting for everybody black? No, that's not the reason. Well, no,
he deserves it.
That man is impressive.
Oh yeah.
It's just, I don't know what else is left for him to do in NXT besides win the championship.
Yeah.
But everything that he does is impressive. Like, he outdoes himself every time. To me.
Yeah.
Go ahead. To me, he outdoes himself every time. And he works hard and it shows.
I agree.
He's my number 1 pick.
If you know, definitely he would be on my list if I was gonna. I wanted to include. I thought who was like the best NXT pick for me, but if I was gonna include more NXT like people, Velveteen Dream would probably be my number 1 also. So definitely shout out to the Velveteen Dream. Patrick Clark, you're doing your thing, sir.
Yes, you were tough enough.
Yay. Oh man. You know who else was on that show? Mandy Rose, but she's not on my list either. But anyway, that's
far away from mine.
Yeah, she's not on the list. So there you have it. There's the top 5 male superstars, okay, of 2018 for both myself and King V. So I guess we can go into the female wrestlers of the year. Why don't you start us off with this list?
Okay, I'm gonna start. Alicia Fox. I'm kidding.
I would have turned. Oh man.
Hashtag push Alicia Fox. But number 5. Now this was actually pretty hard for me. because all of the women NXT, Raw with the shit that they're given,
Yeah.
SmackDown have really stepped it up,
Yeah.
and they should. They're taking advantage of the opportunity. So number 5 is
You got
going
the
to
cops
be
behind you?
Huh?
You got the cops behind you?
No.
About to say-
Anyway,
yeah.
number 5 is going to be. Anyway, number 5 is going to be the Princess of Staten Island, Carmella.
Oh. Okay.
She had a big year, and it was hard for me to put her as number 5. Because she held on to the Money in the Bank contract. She cashed it in after WrestleMania. She didn't, she held the title,
Mm-hmm.
and then she lost it, which sad face. And then she aligned herself with R-Truth, and then
They're killing it.
she's been
Allegedly.
like, to me, in the ring, there's room for improvement,
Of
but
course.
you can tell she's working hard because that triple threat match was really good. But
Yeah.
she showed that she could do anything that she's given.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you.
And she would be a little bit higher if the wrestling was there.
Okay.
If the wrestling was there, she would be a little bit higher.
That's
But
fair.
Carmella is number 5. She's on the list.
Carmella was on my list. I actually had a graphic ready for her, and I took her off the list and replaced her. She was actually at this spot that I'm about to say who number 5 is or whatever. Alexa Bliss is my number 5. Now, I went back and forth between Carmella and Alexa. Huh? I missed that one. But
Okay, great.
oh no, don't worry. I'll just play it back. I'll hear it. But anyway, so the reason I put Alexa on the list before she got hurt in September, and started, having the concussion issues. Mm-hmm. Alexa Bliss won Money in the Bank, like you mentioned with Carmella. Alexa cashed in. It. Yeah, she cashed in. Money in the Bank and succeeded. She won. She won the first ever women's elimination chamber match earlier this year. Yeah. She is consistently one of the best talkers on Raw. Talkers, yeah. She's not one of the best wrestlers.
Oh, absolutely not.
No, but she has consistently been heavily featured and promoted on the show before she got hurt, and even after. She was put in charge of the women's division. So, Alexa Bliss, number 5 for me.
Okay.
Honorable mention is Carmella, because she was in that spot. But
so, number 4. This one was a little tough, especially, saying who my number 1 is.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4 is gonna go to Asuka.
Okay.
Number 4 is Asuka. She won the first ever women's Royal Rumble match. Even though I don't think she needed it, but anyway, even though she lost to at WrestleMania, I wasn't a fan of that because Charlotte doesn't need things, and Charlotte's not on my list. Yeah, I said what I said. Charlotte's not on my list. She doesn't need anything else.
Okay.
Asuka, despite her, her working with another person that is on my list, who needs her things, give her things. Actually, she's not on the list. Actually, I replaced her with someone else. Sorry.
Oh man.
But we're working with Naomi, who is getting an honorable mention, and me, how I feel about Naomi. She's not on my list. I'll explain later. But Asuka is really, Asuka's good. I don't know what else you can't deny that she's good, and she's funny. Like she's funny to me. Like she is hilarious.
No, she is. She definitely is.
So, Asuka's definitely number 4 on my list.
Okay. Hold on for a second. Okay. Sorry, technical difficulties there. Asuka's number 4 on my list also. Exactly at number 4. Asuka, like you said, she won the Rumble. Asuka's always giving you a good match. I don't remember a bad Asuka match, like, you know. So and yeah, you said basically everything I had to say about Asuka. Okay, well, yeah, that's number 4.
All right, number 3.
Here we go.
Number 3 is the winner of the Mae Young Classic. Number 3 is
Wow.
Toni Storm.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Tony just fucking love Toni Storm. I'm not supposed to curse him, but I love Toni Storm. She's like really. I can't wait that she appears on the main roster if she does, because it's gonna be some good matches.
Yeah.
Toni Storm is consistent as a wrestler. I don't think I've heard her promo much, if I'm not mistaken. But every time I've seen her in the ring, she's just impressive. So, Toni Storm is number 3.
Okay. All right, definitely. Shout out to Toni Storm. Again, I know she's NXT UK. I don't have any NXT talent on my list because, you know, if I did, I would have had Bianca Belair on my list, but she might still be on somebody's list. I don't know, but we'll see. But coming in at number 3, for me, it's the Raw Women's Champion. It's Ronda Rousey. No secret. No secret, I'm a fan of Ronda.
Oh, this is not my list.
Okay.
No.
No secret, I'm a fan of Ronda Rousey. Ever since she had her first match at WrestleMania earlier this year, I was impressed. She proved all of the haters and the doubters wrong with her wrestling ability. I mean, she did. She had arguably the best match at Mania this past year. Like, one of, if not the best match, one of the best matches. Now, granted, she was protected. I mean, she was in there with 3, you know, legends, pretty much. So, yeah, she was protected. But even when she had her match with Nia Jax at Money in the Bank, which was really, really good, Ronda shows that she's not afraid to sell for these girls, which a lot of people feel like she doesn't have to. Ronda at this point does not have to come in there and sell for a Nia Jax or for an Alexa Bliss. Some people even criticized her for how much selling she does and how much selling she did in the Alexa Bliss match, because a lot of people felt it's not believable. You're Ronda freaking Rousey, you know, but I have no problem with that. I mean, she's showing that she's not selfish, which I like. She took a beating of a lifetime from Charlotte last month, and she still showed up to work the next day. A lot of people thought she wasn't gonna come back. So Ronda Rousey is my number 3 pick.
Well, y'all know how I feel about Ronda Rousey. I will give her the fact that she's a fan, and it shows, and she's dedicated, and it does show. I just don't see it for her. So my number 2 pick is the man, Becky Lynch.
Number 2. Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Becky deserves, man.
Yeah.
That's really all I have to say. Like, the heel turn I wasn't expecting. I honestly was not expecting the heel turn. I thought they were too scared to pull the trigger, and they did. So I like heel Becky a whole lot better than face Becky. That's really all that I have to say. Like, Becky fucking lynched, man. Like,
even though she's not really a heel, she's a babyface, but that's neither here nor there.
Technically.
Yeah. Okay. Good pick. Coming in at number 2. Coming in at number 2 for me is the person that King V so brutally and rudely, if I might say, left off his list, excluded from his list, and that's Charlotte. And that's Charlotte Flair. Okay, like, Charlotte Flair.
Like, third and vagina. Like, what the fuck?
Charlotte Flair. Okay. Again, Charlotte continues to show why she is arguably even better than her than her father was. Um, and that's a big statement. But I was even talking to my father about that, and he was like, yeah, and my father would know. He watched Flair during Flair's heyday, and that's a pretty big statement. I was like, I think she needs a couple of more years before you can say that, but she's more athletic than her father ever was. That's for sure. I don't
Oh no,
know
I agree.
I don't know if she has the ring psychology that Flair had. Rick, I mean, when he was, on top of his game and in his prime. But could I see the argument? Yeah, I could see the argument that Charlotte's gonna go down as the greatest women's wrestler of all time as it stands right now. Whether people like it or not, because I know a lot of people don't like it, but
oh no, I would agree.
Yeah. I mean, I also agree with you that maybe she is too heavily pushed, and that she doesn't need it necessarily. I can see that argument. And she knows that. I mean, I've listened to enough interviews of her that she's even said that if she wasn't who she was, like, if she was on the outside looking in, that yeah, she would feel like, all right, why is this girl getting everything? But I still feel like Charlotte is miles ahead of some of the other girls, and even the girls that's not on my list. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, Sasha Banks isn't on my list, and I love Sasha Banks. Bayley
isn't on my list either.
Natalia's not on my list. I mean, when we narrow it down to the top 5 of just this past year, those girls I just named didn't do much. I can't tell you one singles match that I remember from Sasha Banks that happened in the last. Okay, the match she had with Bayley, to qualify for the Survivor Series match that they wound up getting buried, after. Like, and the match didn't even matter. Basically it was just a filler match because they knew that Becky and the rest of SmackDown was going to run in and beat up the Raw roster. The Bayley Sasha match didn't even matter after. So, again, when I do this list, and when we did this list, it wasn't to like try to forget about the other girls. It's who's had the opportunities to show that they can be in the top 5, and a lot of those other girls just didn't. But that's why Charlotte is in my list, because she consistently every year shows that she belongs in the WWE and belongs to be, a former champion. That's my thing about Charlotte.
My number 1.
Okay.
And Mike saw this coming.
I saw it coming miles away, actually, but
my number 1 is the EST of NXT, who was on the Bianca Belair.
Undefeated? Can we roll that clip? You got the one? Yeah, the Mae Young one. Yeah.
No. She's on the
Do me a favor, roll that one. Yeah, press that button.
I'm ready to be sailing the seas. Top elbow up.
Undefeated. Anyway, Bianca Belair is number 1. Give Bianca her things. I want her to win the Fatal 4-Way. I want her to beat the other one that's in MMA, Ronda Rousey's girlfriend. I want Bianca Belair to be at the top of the NXT Women's Division. She has it all. She's athletic. She has the look. Even though, maybe not for Vince because she's black, but she has the look. She had. Oh, I said what I said. She has.
We heard you.
She has the wrestling ability, and for her to be only 3-4 years in,
yeah.
She's light years better than a couple of people who have been at NXT for a while.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, Aaliyah. So anyway,
where is she? The only Aaliyah that I acknowledge is the singer.
R.I.P. I agree with everything you just said about Bianca Belair.
You just have at number 1.
Huh?
I know. You just wouldn't put her at number 1. I know.
I wouldn't put her at number 1. I mean, she would probably be if the list was longer, I would probably put her at number like 6, or right there, number 6 or 7. Like I feel like I feel like Bianca is still very green. At times, she does have the timing for the most part, but there are times where I see her and she looks a little inexperienced out there, and that's fine. She'll get even better. She's great now. She'll get even better. I am looking forward to her versus Shayna Baszler. I think that I know the Fatal 4 hasn't happened yet, but come on, let's be serious.
Let's be
serious here.
She's gonna. I'd be surprised if she doesn't. She's gonna win.
I am scared because I think Bianca loses her first match since July. I think she loses her first match here against Shayna Baszler. Because I don't think they're ready to put the championship on her yet.
I think it's gonna be DQ.
I could see that also. I could see something like that happen.
It'll be DQ in WrestleMania weekend. That's when she gets it.
I could see that. I could definitely see
because
that.
Shayna's going up for WrestleMania.
I mean, and she should. Shayna should be going up.
So I have more of a...
Wait, say that again? We missed that one.
So I have more of a reason to not watch Raw.
Oh, man. Needless to say, I fully am behind your number 1 pick. And what are they going to do? Are they going to turn her babyface in order to face Shayna? That'll be interesting to see what they do.
I don't know. That's really a good question.
Yeah, that's why I'm like thinking, because the last time they had a fatal 4-way to determine a number 1 contender and Bianca was in it, they made up this whole injury thing so she didn't have to lose. Because remember, she doesn't win the fatal 4-way, she loses. Even if she's not pinned, she still technically loses the match. So in order to get her out of that fatal 4-way that they had going into TakeOver Brooklyn from this past year, the one that Kairi Sane eventually, won, they had her injured, right? So she wasn't in the match. I still would love to know what that injury was. But anyway,
didn't she get married around that time?
She did. That was, yeah. But on TV, they said Bianca Belair is injured. I said, huh? She was just dancing on the beach yesterday. But anyway, yeah, so I hope they don't do some type of like angle where she doesn't make it to the ring or whatever it is. And they actually they pull the trigger on her. I'm looking forward to it to see what happens. And I'm also looking forward to seeing what happens with my number 1 pick. And that's the man, Becky Lynch. I mean, what a year. What a year.
Yeah.
And I knew a shift was happening. Like, we all was always behind Becky for the most part. But I knew a shift was happening at Money in the Bank. Every time she started to climb that ladder, the crowd would get louder and louder and louder. They wanted Becky to win that Money in the Bank match. That's when back in June. She doesn't win the Money in the Bank match. Now, Charlotte takes a month off and just is thrown into a championship match, taking away Becky's one-on-one opportunity. And the fans felt sorry for Becky. Like, it's like, all right, enough is enough at this point.
Yeah.
Enough is enough. So, yeah, they try to turn her heel, but stupid of them, they did it in Brooklyn, where, of course, it's a heel crowd, first of all. And second of all...
Yeah.
You're right, and you're doing it against Charlotte, who people were already starting to resent. So, and she was out there crying, bro. She's crying, and Brooklyn is booing her and yelling, "Thank you, Becky." So
I got a body tackle out of that. It was funny.
But then these same fickle fans were cheering for Charlotte last month when she beat up Ronda Rousey. Fickle. But anyway, yeah, maybe Brian should have been on my list.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a whole nother topic. Maybe I'd kick Brian out and put Brian in. But anyway, this is about Becky. This isn't about Brian. But the reason I brought them both up, they're both SmackDown talents. SmackDown's been killing it.
Yeah. Oh, killing it. My
and
God.
I feel like Becky deserves this. She finally is getting the push and the run that she deserved, that she's been working for so long. Back to NXT, back to before she even got to NXT. You know,
That's
so
true.
I am very happy for Becky. I was in the building at Evolution. The crowd erupted when Becky Lynch came out there. I mean, it was bad. They was booing Charlotte, as expected. And it was just crazy. They had a crazy last woman standing match. Becky, the man. She really is the man.
You know, it was really hard for me to pick a number one. Because it was honestly between Bianca and Becky.
Yeah.
Originally, Bianca was my number 2.
Okay.
Originally, she was my number 2. And then I kind of cheated. Well, let me not. No, that'll be spoiling things. But I just looked over some things, some matches and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, you know, I'm big on wrestling. And I'm not saying that Becky's bad. That's not what I'm saying. Lord have mercy. Don't come in my midst with some bullshit. I'm not saying Becky is bad.
You know those fans are wild.
She's technical. She's very, very technical. And Bianca's a showman.
Of course, yeah.
And it's something about those people who are showmen that just gives a little bit of an edge for me. And this is just for me.
Okay.
This is based off of my list of who my favorite wrestlers are, and even though my favorite wrestlers, Bret the Hitman Hart, but we can go into that later. But Bianca had it by like, I'm not going to be punny here, but she had it by the hair. She just a tad.
Yeah.
She just had it just a little bit.
Okay.
But if her heel turn would have happened early, or her heel turn would have happened earlier, Becky would have been at the top of the list, and Bianca with number 2.
I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. Well, there you guys have it. There's our list of top 5 male and female WWE talent of 2018. Let the people know where they can find you and spam your comments.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at KingV_the ruler. I don't need my Snapchat because that's my actual name in it. Yeah, I'm gonna be tweeting, for whatever pay-per-view is coming up next. What is that next one? Royal Rumble?
Royal Rumble, yeah.
Okay, so Royal Rumble, I'll be live tweeting. Okay, great.
All right.
I'm going to WrestleMania next year.
Yes, we'll be there. We will be at WrestleMania. And we'll probably be doing a Royal Rumbles prediction show also. It's a big show, so.
Oh, great. Because I have a pick ready. But anyway.
Already?
At least I'm seeing. All right. Let's see. Projects coming soon. And some wrestling related, some not.
I was about to say, can we disclose that information?
No, not right now.
Okay. All right.
But it's coming. So I'm coming back to the podosphere.
Yes. Yes. Good.
It's gonna be a while, but I'm coming to the podosphere. But yeah, I think that's it for me. I graduate next year.
Yes, congratulations.
Oh, the ghetto. But I think that's it for me.
All right. Well, you guys can find me.
No, wait, one more thing.
Oh, yeah,
one more thing. Sorry. # Alicia Fox. Okay, great.
You can find me at DJ Mikey Q on Twitter. Make sure you guys follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. King V, thank you again. On short notice, I just literally text V like, yo, want to do a video today? Yeah, sure. All right, so.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you guys next time. You all think about who's the best MCs? Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas.